And we're sitting here live. I guess we have nothing, no guests, but we're gonna chop.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Couldn't get a guest. I'm trying to get this.
what are you trying to get?
Trying to get the link posted and then pin it. There we go.
Oh, there it is.
That's what I was trying to do. It's been a while since I had to do that.
I discovered a new feature on my Wyndham app.
On your what map?
My Wyndham app.
Oh,
Because, with my job, I stay out sometimes, and I can redeem points for gift cards. I can redeem points for merchandise.
yeah. Well, I think you should stay redeeming it for the hotel rooms. Hi, Nick. Cool. That'll be fun. Oh. But you remember me telling you about that episode about the Jersey Devil?
Kind of.
And they showed that
something.
one bat, and one of the experts, or one of the people, I shouldn't say experts, but one of the people they were talking to that's done research on the area for, decades.
Mm-hmm.
Also dug into research that goes way back when, to the, when they were bringing goods over from wherever, Africa, on, the old wooden ships and the sailboats and stuff.
Yeah.
And they opened the crates, and these African bats got out.
Okay.
And man, they are an ugly, ugly thing. And boy, they do match a lot of the descriptions of that Jersey Devil.
Well, could be. I mean, the giant fruit bat has always been miscued as a monster instead of an actual.
Right, but this
bat,
this bat actually got a horse-looking head to it. It's called
that's the giant fruit.
Bat.
That's the giant fruit bat.
It's called the hammerhead bat.
It's also a giant fruit bat.
It stands about like 3 feet high.
Yeah, it's a giant fruit bat.
I got to watching that, and man, I would hate to run into that fucking thing.
Yeah.
Next weekend, I'm hoping it's going to be nice, especially in the Chicago area.
Well, we'll see.
Because I'm going to try to make our way. Tanya and I are going to try to make our way over to the that one cemetery that's got Bloody Mary in it. Resurrection Cemetery, I think it is called. I have to ask Nick when he comes on.
Yes. I believe it is the Resurrection Cemetery.
So I'm going to take a little bit of equipment with me when I go. Not waste that.
You better take the equipment with you if you're going to be going there.
Well, it was originally planned for like a family visit, but at the same time, I figure why not take advantage of some of the time and check out a couple of the sites while I'm there,
Yeah.
So, oh, sure, that's just a little late.
What's late? What are you doing now?
It's a Microsoft. It comes up on the Windows reminder to start the live video. To start the live video. Well, that's a little late.
Well, it's 5 minutes. It was 5 minutes after. So, but yeah, it is a little late.
So,
So what do you want to talk about?
well, whatever whatever you want. I mean, we've got all kinds of things coming up. We've got,
Yeah.
you
Well, if it gets nice out, I'm gonna freaking try to do some playing around with that drone and see if
I forgot.
see what I can do with it.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Like I said, when you gave me the one, I told you I'll probably crash it.
I don't think you will. The damn thing's got the sensors on it to where you can't. It's almost dummy proof, right? Or I should say,
Oh, so you calling me a dummy now?
It's almost Joe proof.
I see how it is now. I see how you are.
No,
Yeah.
damn thing's it's actually pretty easy to fly. I mean, I kind of proved that it's not going to crash because of that little fuck up I made by hitting that button, and it stopped like inches from my ceiling.
About an inch.
You know,
and it stayed right there. It's got like crash proof sensors or something.
Yeah, it's got the crash sensors on it, so it keeps it from crashing into shit.
But I don't know what's gonna. I'm just hoping that Mother Nature does us good this year, and we can get a lot of shit done this year compared to last year.
Yeah, it'd be nice to be able to go out and do things more this year than we did before.
Well, there's a few places we got to go back to. I mean, this started off as soon as it gets warm again. I think maybe we take those drones and go out there to Aston State Park even.
Yeah, that'd be fun too.
And I'm gonna go stand on that burial mound.
Well, of course, that damn Ascalon Park, man, that's wide open out there, so we wouldn't have any problems with flying it around out there.
But I'm gonna go and stand on that Princess burial mound. I want to see if what they say is true.
Yeah. Well, you can always, do that. Just, I would prefer us finding somebody to make sure that it's okay for us to do that. But I don't want to break the law. I don't want to encourage others to break the law.
Yeah, whatever. Just that one time ain't gonna hurt, and what's the worst that's gonna happen?
Don't get me going on that shit.
No.
Just that one time, not gonna hurt shit. Yeah.
And then you want to check out, what was that cemetery called? Eagle Road Cemetery?
Eagle Road, we've already been there like twice.
Yeah, but you've been wanting to go back.
I would like to go back. I agree. Yes.
I mean, we've had strange stuff both times happen.
Yes, we have.
And then there's
some very strange stuff.
And then, of course, we've got our trip to Bray Road.
Yeah, that's in August.
That I'd like to get that one laptop set up just for that, and have that software downloaded.
Yeah.
And then those REM pods, you should have those finished and working by then.
I hope.
Not before.
I'm gonna see what I can do. this weekend with it.
I don't know.
It's just kind of ran into a little snag. You gotta fix it. So, but anyway, that's it's a little bit of a snafu. I'm having issues with the antenna.
Yeah, you got to figure that out.
Yeah,
Be creative.
It's driving me nuts.
So,
Bless you. Might want to wipe your chin. I think you drove a little there.
funny. Oh, the other night I was up quite late. It was last night. Tanya was up quite late. I was up quite late. Tanya went to bed really early, and I had to let Joy out a couple of times during the night.
Mm-hmm.
And I was watching Jeremy's podcast last night, and I walked out to let Joy out. That, kind of a clear night over here.
Yeah.
Dark as hell.
Usually is out there.
And I just looked out, didn't really notice much. I go back out there to let her in, and there's a couple of strange lights in the sky that don't belong in the sky. They weren't moving like planes.
Yeah, well,
they were moving like up and down.
It's like the other day whenever I was on my way to work. It's like the other day when I was on my way to work. I seen that one light and there was no blinking lights on it. It was just a solid light, and it was going from north to south, and it was cruising, man. It was cruising pretty fast. And then for reference, and I watched this damn thing and I never seen one single blinking light on it. It was one solid white light.
Yeah, they were a couple of them. They moved up, they moved down, they moved over, and then they just started moving down until they disappeared.
Well,
and
they were
quite a ways. They had to be past that farmer's field that's beyond the pond, because they seemed at quite a distance. But they were like orange lights. They weren't flashing, and they didn't move like a plane. I mean, I didn't hear any noise from it. I mean, hell, it could have been a helicopter for all I know.
Yeah.
I mean, but usually when you hear that med flight type helicopter, even when it comes out here, you can hear that sucker for miles.
Yeah, I know. But yeah, I mean, but that light I seen, I mean, it was moving pretty damn quick. Okay. And I watched it. It went from north to south, and it came into sight pretty far out. Came across, and then went kind of out of sight as I was coming around that first curve before you hit the straight, before you get over to this end of Marshall. And then after that, I got reference for it because at that point another light appeared, kind of going from northwest to southeast, and that turned out to be an airplane.
Yeah.
Basically the same size, and then all of a sudden you see the flashing light on it, and it was moving a hell of a lot slower.
And the other thing I thought that was strange about last night too was when I was out there, it was eerily quiet. for being out here in the
Hmm.
country. There's
Yeah.
usually a lot of birds, and even at this time of year, there's been birds. The owls are back. You know, nothing. There wasn't a single sound. I mean, it was so quiet. I was able to hear the cars
You
going
were
by.
able to hear the mice fart.
Yeah, probably.
You're able to hear the mouse farts in the
No, but
distance.
I could hear the cars from CW. It was that quiet,
Wow.
you know. And I was standing out on the porch side of it, and it was just like nothing. When I saw those lights, there was no sound at all. And I stood there for about 5 minutes, you know. But it's like, wow. I mean, I've seen some weird shit in the skies out here, but that almost took the cake, you know. Some of it I've already, debunked myself.
Right.
Thinking it was, and then I looked the next day during the day and I went, oh, what I saw was that, radio tower over there. But this stuff was nowhere near, the house lights, the farmhouse lights that are over there and the spotlights on his barn and so on and so forth. Because some of those come on, I'm guessing motion sensor, but they're all white and lower to the ground than what I saw. All I know is weird. It's almost like the one I swear was following us when it was a couple of years back, and we were coming up R, and we were in that area where there was like an open field when we were coming up R on the left side of us. And then as we turned on to, what was that road? EC. It's like between R and CW. Anyway, it was one of those roads. Anyway, it ended up staying on that left side and started going, and then when we made the turn on the CW, I lost track of it. But that happened a couple of years ago. And unfortunately, I didn't have my phone with me, or I would have been recording that sucker.
Huh?
And I bet my eyes were probably pretty bad back then, but I definitely saw something because Tanya saw it too.
Well, I'm not saying that you didn't.
But it would have been nice to record it because then you could play it back and figure out possibly what it was.
Yeah.
But it just seemed very out of place. And it's like one of those things, late at night. And that late at night, you wouldn't think of airplane because the airports are closed.
Yeah.
I mean, the airport out here is not as big as like the one in Madison or Chicago. I mean, living over by the one when I was in Madison and living not too far from that one, you'd hear shit take off all night long.
Right. Well, the airport there in Watertown is just barely big enough to land in Cessna. I don't think it would even be able to land anything else there. Like,
no,
I don't think it's big enough for a jet.
I think it's mostly those little prop plane, the little bitty planes that people learn to fly in.
Yeah, Cessnas.
Yeah.
Piper Cubs.
That's all I ever see around there. I don't even think the military thing that's right there near the airport, I don't know if I've never seen them use it at anything except for the helicopters.
Yeah.
But other than that, I don't think that any of the military jets or planes take off from there either.
The take off from where?
From the
Military
Watertown
planes.
Airport.
No,
There's like a military base there that's loaded with
that's an army base.
with the trucks.
They
With
don't
all
have
the trucks.
the army. The army only has helicopters. They don't even have airplanes.
Right. So that's why they're close to because there's a helipad right there. So,
Possibly, yeah. I mean,
I know it is. I've
you can
seen
land. You can land helicopters. You can land helicopters there.
just about anywhere.
The helicopters land vertically.
Yeah. But I'm just saying, I've seen them take off from there. So, because we drive by it frequently when we go to like Walmart and shit, depending on which way she decides to go.
Yeah.
Talking about somebody that confuses the hell out of you. We'll take this route. No, we'll take this route. Oh, I think
I'm going this way.
This way today.
I'm not going this way today.
Yeah. Yeah.
I want to go that way today.
Yeah, it's like karma. Karma's a bitch in this case because when we first started dating, I used to mess with her and say the only road she really knew in Madison was East Washington Avenue.
Yeah. And now she's got you out there in her stomping grounds and maybe you lost.
Yep. Know where we're at.
And the funny thing is, I can go out there and not have a problem. I can go anywhere in this state and not have a problem knowing where I'm at.
Well, I used to be like that, especially when I was driving cab. You know, I ended up in a lot of strange places driving cab, you know, that I had to learn to get to because never been there before.
Yeah.
And during that time when I was driving cab, man, I used to like to just take off on the weekends when I wasn't working. You know, the nice thing about me driving cab, especially after I left Union, was when I worked for the Silverfish, I was able to make my own schedule, come and go as I pleased.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so I had a lot of my weekends off, unless I knew something was going on Friday that was going to make me a lot of money.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
always work those Fridays and Saturdays when there's shit going on in town.
Well, I didn't like I didn't do the bar rush as much as I liked doing the like bankers convention, you know, or the meat packers convention, you know, when you had all them dairy farmers from all over the fucking world. Oh yeah.
You didn't like the meat packers convention, huh?
Well, all the hotels were booked in Madison. The closest hotels they were going to after that were Janesville. So think about those rides.
Oh yeah, those are long rides.
Yeah. So you go to Milton Street, Janesville, to where the little hotel road was. There's like a set of there's like 4 or 5 different hotels just off the one highway there, the interstate.
Yeah.
On Milton. And man, you would take 3, 4, 5 trips a day, taking these people back and forth from there to the Coliseum, back to their hotels late at night. You know, bankers convention came around. Well, they didn't spend money on the hotels. Them frugal fuckers, they spent their money on all the staying down in the dorms, because their convention would be when the college was out, so the dorms were empty, so they'd stay in all those dorm houses down on campus. So those rides weren't worth a damn.
No.
But they were generous making tips, though.
So you did give tips?
Oh yeah, they were generous at giving the tips. You know, but the rides were like really short, so you know, you made more money in the tips than you did the rides, because you know how that worked. We got to we got a commission off the total end of the night tally on the meter.
Mm-hmm. See, that was the difference in cab side to transit side.
Yeah, you guys got paid by the hour.
Yeah.
Because that's why.
And then we also got offered to do runs on the weekends and on Friday nights and Saturdays for like bachelor and bachelorette parties.
Yeah, you were lucky. Yeah, you got lucky on that, and I know Donna got lucky on those too.
Dude, I was making some bank on those too because I'd be out all night.
Hello, how you doing?
Yeah, I'd be out all night being paid for it, and then I'd get tips on top of it.
Yeah, I didn't get those chances. I did the EC though to supplement the cab income. The early childhood routes in the middle of the day.
Hey, Carl.
So then I could sit there and take that 2-hour break, or come in and take that hour break or 2-hour break that I have to take in between the runs where I'd have to go back up and pick them all up again. And I'd use that so I could stay out past bar time in my cab.
Well, but when I got to go on these little excursions and everything with the bachelorette and bachelor parties and shit. I mean, that was fun. Dropped the guys off uptown and got up in behind the one bar there, parked in the parking lot, and sitting there reading my book, and these two girls come walking across the quad, drunk off their ass. And had the windows down a little bit, so I heard what they were saying. The one's like to the other, I gotta pee really bad. And the other one's like, the bar's right there. You can go when we get there. No, I gotta pee now. She went right in front of my van and dropped her drawers right there.
Squat, huh?
Yeah, flopped the squat. Of course, me and my asshole just turned the fucking lights on her. Funny.
Some of the stuff though, I thought I saw it all when I was working security, and I used to work those ramps down on campus. I used to work the security in the downtown ramps and during the hazing week and all of that. You'd see a lot of weird shit, but man, I saw a lot more when I was driving cab. The real dark side of that town, man.
Oh yeah.
Anytime.
There's an extremely dark side to that town that nobody really understands or realizes is there.
Anytime I got around red letter news, I'd have a hooker trying to approach the cab. She wouldn't want to ride. She'd want,
Yep. It's like, what the fuck? Get the fuck away from me.
And the thing is, they were so bad, and it made you.
They were total skanks.
You're like, no, and they keep dropping the price on you, and I'm like,
they're total skanks.
My cab, so I can move. Because you stop at that stop and go light. They're standing there right on the corner, and then they come right over.
Yeah, and they're total skanks.
And they make it almost impossible for you to move without running them over,
Yeah, a lot of times they think you really want to, actually.
Some of the stuff I saw driving cab really outweighs some of the stuff I saw when I was working security down on campus.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, my rookie year was the worst. I was sitting there, after I pulled the prank on you and all that shit that you got blamed for. Halloween popped up, and that's still when they did the thing on State, where they had that big Halloween party on State Street, right? And
that was a crazy. They always had the crazy Halloween parties up there.
Right. So I'm down there and I didn't take the warning about locking the cab doors when approaching State Street.
Learn the hard way, huh?
Drunk ass motherfuckers. I shit you not. There was at least 10 of them. They started jumping in my cab while it was still moving because, Gorham Street, when all that stuff's blocked off, hi, Nick. The streets get really backed up and slowed down. So they were jumping in my cab. They were trying to fit 10 of them in my cab that night. I mean, I made good money, but that was the last time I ever worked Halloween. Yeah. So what have you been up to?
Just been taking it easy day by day. Of course, looking forward for my big day tomorrow. So it's gonna be, just building up
tomorrow. What's tomorrow?
Tomorrow's my birthday.
Oh, happy birthday! Early.
Thanks.
So how old are you gonna be now?
You mean to tell me you still have those?
Wait, what was the question, Joe?
How old are you gonna be now?
I'm gonna be 31.
Ooh, he's still a puppy though.
Yeah, he's still young.
Yeah, I know that. I've been getting that a lot lately.
I wish I was still 31.
Yeah, no shit.
So you got plans for tomorrow?
Yeah. Well, first off, I'm getting together with Don. He's going to be one of the folks I'm going to be hanging out with. Going to be hanging out with him as well as a number of other friends that we got, and we're just going to go bowling.
I haven't done that in years.
Yeah, I'm going to be doing
that. You a good bowler?
What's that?
You a good bowler?
Sort of.
What's your average?
I bowl when I'm able to.
Damn, I haven't bowled in 20 plus years.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's been a while for me too. But
I was on a lot of leagues for a while. I was on a couple leagues with Brenda, and then I was on several other team leagues with people. Is
that right?
Yeah. Yeah, I wasn't good, but I was above average.
Well, that's good.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, it's gonna be great either way. So we're gonna be doing that tomorrow night, and then after that, we're gonna just head back to my house and have a cake, hang out for a bit, maybe play some games and just enjoy a good night of carefree fun. So it's gonna be great.
That ought to be fun. It's better to play the games than by yourself, playing them with friends.
Exactly. Exactly.
Oh, Mark and I used to do that a long time ago. Hang out at somebody's house in the basement, just sitting there all.
Most of the time, it was my house in the basement.
Yeah, we'd go 24 hours playing one game.
That's kind of like me in this case, So I'm kind of in that same position you are, Mark. We hang out down here in the basement. We get a couple games out, which the games we often like playing most of the time. And I love it so much. Is Cards Against Humanity.
Played that at his house not too long ago, a few weeks back.
Yeah, Joe and his wife bought a set and brought it over.
Well, I had that little expansion pack, and then we went out and bought extras because they were playing it at my brother's house for Christmas, and I couldn't stop laughing. I was just watching them, so. But they had like 8 people, because the more people that plays that, the funnier it gets.
Yes, it does. It does. I actually have the one I got, by the way. I'm not trying to sound like prejudice or anything. I got the bigger, blacker box. So it's kind of like all the different, it's like a giant storage box where you could put all the cards and different types of packages in. But what's even funnier is that you get the box, like in the center of the box, there actually is a little hidden compartment of a hidden card that you got to get, which of course, I'm not going to say exactly what it is because it would be too extreme, but it's hilarious though.
Cool. Yeah, I have to check into that some more.
You could probably get it from Amazon because that's right. That's where, well, actually, either I got mine from Amazon or I got it from it might have been from Target because I know Target sells them.
I get a lot. I get a lot from Amazon.
Yeah, me too. That makes two of us.
I ended up getting a business account on Amazon because I spend so much money there. Hi, Jeremy. How you doing?
Hey, Jeremy.
You know, I that was a must after we started this. I mean, they get the quick delivery. I got the Prime thing at a discount, so it's one of those things.
Yeah, definitely.
I figure if they're going to deliver it to me for free, why not? You know.
Yeah, well, I spend a lot of money there too.
I actually just got a package that just came in from Amazon like about an hour or so ago. So I know exactly what you mean by that.
Yeah. If I can't find it hands on someplace, like going to some store, then I know I can find it there.
See, the way how it works for me, like if it's the exact same way, because also sometimes if you purchase it on Amazon, it's also cheaper than sometimes getting it at the store. So, but if it's Amazon that doesn't have it, then my next option obviously is eBay, and then if that doesn't have it either, my third and final option is Etsy.
Yeah, well, I don't like shopping online because I like to actually see or look at the product hands on before I buy it.
Right.
That's like digital software. Mark and I were talking about that earlier. All this digital software. Back in the days, there were stores like CompUSA and Circuit City and Best Buy even had them. They had aisles and aisles of software.
Oh yeah, they did. They really did.
Okay? So you could sit there and open the box and kind of really, dive into it.
Well, the way the boxes were designed, Joe, if you remember, they had the front panel which actually opened up, and they gave you pictures of what the software looked like running on the machine. Plus, it gave you descriptions and
the specs, everything
on it.
But when you go and look online nowadays, you don't get that as much.
Nope.
And then if you want to do the demo or the trial, well, they don't open it up so that you can use the whole thing.
Yeah.
It only unlocks part of it, and then you got to pay to unlock the whole thing. And now some of these like softwares are like yearly subscriptions or something to update them all the time. You can't get a lifetime thing anymore.
Yeah, no, you can't. You really can't.
So it's been that kind of pisses me off, being the old school computer person that I am, where I got my software at the stores, and there were like 5 stores in Madison to choose from to go to.
Right. No, I totally get what you mean, though. Definitely.
Yeah, I miss that. I miss having the stuff like that. And of course, I guess that's because I'm old school.
I mean, I started out before there was an internet with computers. But all those things, Best Buy's become a joke.
Yeah, it has. It wasn't like that years ago, but now it is.
And the Circuit City and the CompUSA and all of those are gone.
Yep.
Circuit City closed up all their North America or United States branches and moved up to Canada. And I don't even know if they're still existed. If they still exist up there in Canada.
I know a few years ago that they were still an online site for them.
Right, and then with CompUSA, I don't know if they're even around anymore.
That was the one that was like walking into a candy store for you and I.
Yeah, there was so much there.
I mean, you had everything you could dream of and multiple choices to build your own computer from the ground up. You could pick your motherboard, then you could pick the processor, the type of memory, and all that stuff. They had it all there.
So I just looked up actually, about CompUSA. No, it doesn't exist anymore. I mean,
Wow.
The website, I guess, still exists, but the actual company itself, like stores, no longer exists because went defunct originally in 2008, but then it went defunct again after it was with the involvement of the Tiger Direct relaunch. And funny enough, it went defunct a third time, which was last year after the 2018 relaunch. So all you got left now is really just the oh, actually, no. I don't think the website even exists anymore because it says it redirects it to an error page hosted by wix.com.
Wow.
So it's
Yeah.
not in existence anymore.
It's gone.
Yeah, it's gone. Yeah,
CompUSA
is over.
And it's sad because those places were like candy stores for Mark and I, because back in the day, before we got involved in the podcast and many years before that, we were trying to start our own brick and mortar computer repair shop.
Right.
Stores like that were like, you know, like a candy store, a kid in a candy store. We went in there, we always ended up walking out with something. You know.
It's just unfortunate for some businesses out there that have shut. To see one of my favorites, which of course I know existed for several years, and I mean it's been well over a decade since they closed, and this was a place I loved going to. I even was talking about originally wanting to get a job there originally, and that was if you guys remember Borders, the bookstore.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
yeah, we had those here.
Yeah, there's not a day that doesn't go by where I don't miss that place, because that place was awesome. Obviously, get all your books from, obviously, and movies too.
Yeah, there's a lot of stores that don't exist anymore, and some of them changed so much.
There was one over at Westtown Mall. It was the only one in Madison. It was called Sun City.
Sun City.
Okay. Do you remember that one, Joe?
Oh, the video store?
Yep. Sun City.
It wasn't a rental store, Nick.
No, it was not a rental store. It was
I love that
buy that stuff.
Yeah, it was a video store, but not only was it a video store, you could buy all kinds of movie paraphernalia in there.
You could also buy records. Records in there too.
Wow.
The figurines, all that stuff.
Yeah.
That's actually pretty cool. I mean, it's almost like that of almost like an antique shop in a way.
Actually, it was called Suncoast Records.
Jerry's like Sun City. That was also a great song.
I think it was actually.
I thought it was Sun City
Records. No, I think it was actually called Suncoast Records. Yeah, I'd travel out to Westtown Mall, which for me was the opposite side of Madison. So I'd travel all the way across town just for that store because it was the only one they had.
I can imagine, because we got a few places like that too for our, down over here, where sometimes we have to drive almost like across town to get to where we want to go to. So I feel you for that.
And it was just like a music store, because if you were looking for like, say, a movie they didn't have, they would order it for you.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah. You would go up and ask them, and they would order it for you if it was available. And they actually had little computer screens around there so that you could see if it was available to order from them.
That's amazing. That really is.
I miss those places. There was so much back then that the online and the old website and all this online shopping and stuff has ruined.
Yeah, it really has. I mean, and I just saw what Janet said, missed record stores. I mean, I know for a fact that there are a few record stores that are still in operation here in Chicago, but certainly not as many as there were before. There was actually a I don't remember what the location was called. I mean, I know it was somewhere out in Rockville, Indiana, but I did recall it did have a lot of it was an antique store, but a good majority of it though was still mainly focused on the records. So it was basically a part record shop, and that was a place we often went to on several occasions. And unfortunately, I just found out a few years ago, last time that we were there in Rockville, they shut it down. So as far as I mean, the company's gone. As far as the actual building, which was it kind of had the historical accuracy. This was being held in a historic building in the historic district of Rockville. So as far as what's going to happen to the building, I have no clue. But the business is definitely gone, though.
Yeah, it's all about the money nowadays.
Money talks.
Yeah, there's a really cool part of Madison that back in the day in the 80s, it was the best place to hang out and shop. All right.
I believe that.
All the cool stores and everything on this one street. Best food and everything. And it went from the top of the Capitol Square all the way to the bottom to Lake Street, right into the heart of the campus.
Yep.
And it's called State Street. And it had like 2 arcades on that block. You had a museum.
Theaters along there.
Every block had all kinds of different small mom and pop food type places.
Mm-hmm.
Rocky's, the original Rocky Rococo's, the first one that ever existed, was a block off State Street. And then, you had all these weird shops like, I can't even remember what that was called. There was like, what was that? The one it's there, but it's pipe fitters. It was a really cool Spencer-like store. It was a lot like Spencer's.
Yeah.
But it changed so much that it's not even worth going to anymore. And half those stores have gotten to be all those rich type stores.
Yeah, they have.
Down there on that strip. So back in the day, they used to be like really cool stores that you'd really want to go into. Record shops, game shops, and they weren't like the big name box stores that you'd find in the mall. These were like locally owned, record stores and stuff. It was just a really cool place to hang out. And the food down there was fantastic because those restaurants didn't exist anyplace else.
Right.
Now it's all the big box restaurants from all over the place.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the what was that one? It was a comedy place that it was in the upstairs, but you had to you accessed it.
Was it at the top of State?
No, it was the
Oh, now he froze.
Yeah.
I froze?
Yeah,
you froze up for a second.
Yeah, it's the stupid fucking internet. I'm getting sick and tired of Spectrum. Spectrum
sucks. I never have a problem.
Well, Joe, I'm glad you never have a problem. But you know where I live? I live in Waterloo, where I don't get signal on these out here. Okay? Yeah. Spectrum is the only fucking thing we can get for internet here, and they suck dick.
Yeah.
Well, I'm further up.
You want to argue some more? Because I have the same fucking problem every goddamn day. I lose internet for 30 minutes flat, 30 minutes straight, almost every damn day at the same time.
I don't know why.
And I have bitched and complained to Spectrum, and they're all, oh, we're fine. There's nothing wrong with your internet. We can't find anything wrong with your internet. Bring your asses out here and track it down. It happens every day. And I'm not the only one. I got neighbors around here that are pissed at them too.
I believe it. So
if you're gonna provide internet like that in a community, and you're basically the only ones that are going to provide the internet in the community, make sure the damn shit works.
Yeah.
Well, they must have something going on in Waterloo, because there's no problems out here.
Really? There's none? That's why you froze for like 10 seconds there? You can still hear your audio, but you froze for like 10 seconds.
Yeah, because now my connect. See, you started going off because my internet started going to Wi-Fi. That's what happened. But I rarely have any problems out here. But I think they've upgraded. I think most of all of Watertown got upgraded because I did have issues. That first year or two that I was out here, I did have issues where it'd go out like you say about a half an hour here and there or whatever.
Yep.
And then sometimes
every time it would go out, if I could get through on my cell phone, I'd call, and they would, and they'd be like, "Oh, we don't have any issues with the internet. There's nothing being reported in your area."
I don't have cell service in the house. It runs on the Wi-Fi, off the Wi-Fi in the house. I can't even go out to the, out like I used to walk Nitro out around the lake. It don't work around there either.
The pond?
But once I get out of the park area, out on CW, I've got a signal.
That is just wrong.
So it's like this whole park is almost like a dead spot.
Well, the whole town of Waterloo pretty much is a dead spot. And the township, I already know about this. Okay, the township can actually solve that problem. And it wouldn't cost them hardly anything.
How are they going to solve it?
All they got to do is put a frickin' repeater on the top, a cell tower repeater on the top of the water tower.
Oh.
If they did that, that would solve the fucking problem of the signal problem that we have for cell in here. And then that would open up for like Verizon or US Cellular or AT&T or any of them to come in to sell their Wi-Fi.
AT&T just had a major outage.
I know they did. That was a software screw up. They better be compensating a lot of their customers. Otherwise, they're going to lose a lot of customers. That one was a bad one. That one was actually out for over half the day.
Is anyone living right next to the tower would still have issues?
Why is that, Jeremy?
That is weird too, Jeremy. Right next to those towers, you'd think that you would get the signal, but you're still in kind of a dead spot. It's like doesn't want to reach you.
It's like it just cannot find a way to connect in some way.
But if they would actually have more than the antennas they got up there, put a couple of extras and then point them downward, that would actually solve some of that problem as well. But if you look at those antennas on those towers, they're all pointing outward. So they'll broadcast out. Yeah, it just went out again. But then it drops down and comes back up.
Right.
So, there are ways of fixing it, but a lot of these companies are either too cheap or too lazy or both, and they don't want to take care of the problem and make the customers happy. They know that the customers will pay for it because that's all they got.
That's just unfortunately, that's basically the unfortunate part. And Scott was right next to a cell tower. The angle of the signal goes right over the house, and it's very spotty for him. If his house was, say, 100 feet over, then a signal would be perfect. So that's the frustrating part about just a certain distance of a tower like that.
Yeah. But the only tower that is here for Waterloo is behind a fucking hill.
Yeah.
It literally sits behind a hill.
That sounds like stupidity took place there.
It did. It absolutely did. And then the nearest one, the next nearest one is out the other direction, almost to Watertown.
Whoops.
Wow.
Yeah.
Jeez.
So yeah, it's ridiculous.
All I know is it's better than what I used to have. So
hey, I went and switched to Verizon from Spectrum. I had Spectrum Mobile because I was able to get decent signal better than US Cellular at the time. Because I kept having US Cellular go out when I was in Fort Atkinson where I live, and when I go out there where he lived, I'd never get my signal out there.
I don't think anybody gets signal out here.
And well, you went and switched over to Spectrum and got good signal. That's why I went ahead and did it.
It's not good signal. I realized it's not good signal out here. It's on the Wi-Fi connection.
Yeah,
it's on my Wi-Fi.
So, but when I switched over to Spectrum, I did get decent service
because it says Wi-Fi.
And then I was with them for 3 years, and then they screwed me.
So
I had an S20. In fact, I still have the S20. S20. That's a 5G phone, so it should begin picking up 5G, right? Well, I'd never get 5G connection with Spectrum, and they're using Verizon towers. Well, I went over and talked to Verizon about it. Oh yeah, Spectrum. They're like way down here on the bottom of our renters. They don't pay Verizon enough to get premium space or to get premium signal. So they would never get the premium signal, even though they're advertising 5G.
That's honestly, I never even knew anything about this. So you just kind of taught me something new, Mark. You learn something new every day.
That's because I went and started talking to people and trying to figure out what the shit's going on with my cell phones.
Actually, we only got about 3 minutes left here.
I just want to give a shout out because I see Chanel's watching. It's good to see you, Chanel. Hello there.
Yeah, unfortunately, we're getting close to the end here because we only got an hour on our network. So,
but Nick, that cemetery with Bloody Mary, is that close to where I'm going to be? I'm going to be in Yorkville next week.
Yeah, Yorkville. That's going to be. Let's see here. I know I looked it up before. Now I got to look at it again. So give me just 1 second here while I'm looking up on Google Image. So Yorkville to begin with. Okay, I don't know why I showed that, but now I got it. So Yorkville, that's an hour from my area, and then the cemetery where. Wait a minute, you're talking about, just to be clear on things, are you talking about Bloody Mary or Resurrection Mary?
Whichever one's down there in Illinois.
I think Resurrection
Mary. We got Resurrection Mary over here. That's Resurrection Cemetery.
That's the cemetery. Yeah.
Yeah, that's in the town of Justice, Illinois, and that's going to be almost about the same. Well, a few minutes lesser, but it's going to still be at least about 54 minutes from Yorkville.
That ain't too bad.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to take a trip there.
If you guys go, I mean, if you guys would like for us to come out, we'd be more than happy to.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Joe and his wife will be there.
We can make that like Sunday before we leave.
I'll see if I can contact Don, Tom, Mike, and also because Kate's now part of the crew.
Oh yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah, that would give you the opportunity to meet Kate now in person. So yeah, we'd be more than happy to do that.
Yeah. And then if you need any of my equipment, Joe, just let me know and you can swing by and grab it.
No, I got it covered. Unless you got a REM pod working by then.
I got a REM pod, so worst case scenario, I got you guys back.
I'm trying to put a couple of them together, Nick. And I'm having issues with one of them taking the antenna properly.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, Chanel, come to my house and talk to my spirits. I have 3 spirits, and a shaman says that there's an elemental roaming my property.
Hey, I'll come and take your elemental from you if you want.
Oh.
Well, that's something, of course, I'm not sure if Jeremy's still. Well, I think he is, but that's obviously something he could add to the book later after this investigation. But yeah, I'll definitely contact my crew and see if they want to meet up with you guys. Definitely.
Yep.
That's all. All right. So until next week, stay safe. Remember, anything's possible, and we have Full Moon Paranormal as our guest next week, Friday.
Wow, nice.
Cool.
We are now